Next one, aqua bags and aqua balls. This is the co-contraction that Randy is big on, okay? As we're moving this ball, it's forcing all the little muscles inside of our body to co-contract, turning them on, getting them fired, ready to go. When we warm up the little muscles, then it's easier to warm up the other stuff, okay? So these little stabilizers, and these will help with the attractors that Randy was talking about, okay? So there's 5 at the end of this that we didn't have videos on, but full body tubing, very similar to stuff Alan Jaeger is famous for, all right? It's just like getting the whole body warm before we go to throw. So like tubing exercises like this or like this, all full body stuff that we're getting the whole body working in sequence, trying to get synchronized. Next, get up sprints. Simple, guys land on the ground, you tell them to get up and go. They get up off the ground as fast as they can, sprint. Very good, another very good exercise to get guys moving quickly, moving fast, twitch muscle fibers, and getting moving and getting them prepped for their day. Next one, Lee Fiocchi hip mobility set. It's just a lot of A skips, B skips. A lot of you guys are familiar with that, but it's very similar to like a track warm-up that they would use before they go to track. As Wes was talking about his last series, we used to do jump rope series. Still can be useful, right? Based on your time, if you have a limited amount of time, jump rope series can be a very easy one to accomplish and get it done with. And then form running set, say like high knees, butt kicks, shuffles, karaoke, a lot of the dynamic stretching, a lot of dynamic warm-up that you see today. All right, next, we have getting the arm ready. So these exercises look at warming up our shoulder, elbow, the whole arm, scaps, lats, all that kind of stuff, turning them on so that when we actually go to throw, they're not only warm, but we can also use them in the most efficient manner. So first we have tubing, right? This is very similar to other ones, but this is the main tubing we use is strictly focused on the arm. Okay, so we have the full body tubing that'll focus on the whole body, but this one, we're just gonna try to isolate the arm. So we have different movements like this, trying to isolate the shoulder. Then we get ones where we're pulling the elbow back, trying to get the scap turned on, get it all going. And then the next one, it'll go into a layback, pull back, lay back, and then control it forward. So we're getting the pull back of your scap, the external rotation, and then also the throwing motion and pronation, getting all those movements warmed up. Next one, shoulder tube. This one's made popular by Trevor Bauer. You see him using this a lot. It's just the oscillation. The oscillation of the bar forces the shoulder muscles to turn on and make sure that you can use them on a daily basis. So as you see, he's moving, I moved in and out like this, moving across, a bunch of different movements. You can move up and down, just trying to get the shoulder moving in various degrees so that the arm it can handle anything that you're gonna put on it that day. Last one, all right. All right, connection club. This one's a fairly new one. The story behind this one day my dad's working with one of his clients. Guy's has his arm bothering him, can't figure out what the deal is. We have him using connection balls, we have him using all the different resources that we have at the ranch, can't seem to figure it out. My dad leaves on a phone call, comes back in, and the guy picked up one of my mini bats, right? And my dad walks in and he sees the guy running down the tunnel to throw it, comes back, takes it, and throws the mini bat into the pad. So of course my dad looks at it in absolute horror because this guy's arm's been bothering him. My dad looks at him and goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I don't know, but it feels great." All right, so we started doing it. So the connection club, right? It's just a weighted implement that has the weight on the end of it separated from the hand. So as we're going, this is best when we have forearm play, which similar to what Wes was talking about, how you want the external rotation to happen when your shoulders are square. Forearm play is when it's the mistiming of the external rotation of the arm. So it can either happen when the guy's arm gets up too early before his foot lands. So if his arm's up before his foot lands, and as he goes to turn, his arm gets into external before his shoulders get square. Or it can happen late where the guy's arm is down and his foot's down, and as he goes, his arm has to catch up really quickly like that. So the weight on the end of this implement, on the connection club, forces your arm into a more stacked pattern and a more connected pattern to actually get it to go in a straight line. Because the whole goal is when we get here, we want the ball to go in a straight line at the target, right? I think somebody asked a question a couple of days ago about guys throwing cutters, right? Getting around it. It happens like when we get like this, right? And we get around it. So we want those guys. So ideally, what the connection club helps with is being here, and this thing just falls in, externally rotates, and goes in a straight line at the target. So that's the main use for the connection club. All right, hand speed trainer. If you were here on Thursday night, Tyler talked about this, about how we use this for guys with the significant arm pain group. It's just the weight on the wrist, right there, the black sleeve right there. And we'll do this with, we'll do holds, we'll throw the ball. It's just the emphasis on the extra weight being on the arm where it slows the arm down and we can go through a more controlled pattern. But also when we actually throw the ball, it forces a better pattern of deceleration because the weight is still on the arm as we throw it. Because we get a lot of guys when they go to throw, they throw and the ball, the 5-ounce ball, leaves the hand and their arm. Because there's no weight, their arm straightens out and goes like that, and you get a lot of stress in the back of the shoulder or the back of the elbow right there. So when we have this, the weight on the wrist, it forces the shoulder to co-contract and hold on to the weight so their arm doesn't extend with the extra weight added onto their wrist. So that's really big for guys with deceleration issues, or also to have shoulder pain or even elbow pain, just as a way to allow them to go through the movement without as much stress. Next, weighted ball set. Okay, weighted balls. Remember when my dad first started, weighted balls were awful, like he was talking about last night. He got blown up a lot on the internet for weighted balls. Now weighted balls are all the rage, right? So there's ways to use weighted balls. There's ways to not use weighted balls. But for me, weighted balls are one of my favorite warm-ups because it just feels like it gets, after I do all the other stuff and I go to weighted balls, it feels like it gets my arm in the position that I want it to get into before I'm ready to go throw. All right? So I'm just throwing the 2-pound on this one, but we have 2-pound, 21-ounce, 14-ounce, and 7-ounce, all the way down to underload balls. They're also very good for command, all right? Switching the balls back and forth is the biggest thing. So the variability of the weighted balls helps with command because it forces the body to make subtle adjustments. If I have a 14-ounce ball thrown to this target, my body has to have a slightly different movement pattern to throw a 7-ounce ball at that same target. It forces the body to be more aware of the whole movement. Next, wrist weights. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen these. Just cuffs around the wrist. We get different movements in. The weight on the end of it just forces the shoulder. We get the shoulder going through different movements. Get some good range of motion on that. Even go through throwing movements. Similar thing, very good for deceleration because as we have the weight on the hand, we go to throw. The arm innately knows it does not want to do this because that will be painful. So they'll come through here, keep it bent, keep it nice and stable there. Next one, shoulder sphere. This is very good at the co-contraction. It's very difficult. As you can see, I struggle with it very much. The ball stop. The whole goal is as you're shaking it, the co-contraction of your shoulder will force the ball to go around in a circle around the sphere. If you lose rhythm of it, the ball will stop like you see mine does often in this video. But we'll be here, right? And it just forces all the little muscles in your shoulder to stabilize and co-contract and turn on. It's very good. Let's say if you have a long inning, you can throw this on, do it for like a minute, get your shoulder back and feeling good again. Next one, Durathrow sock. This one, very similar to the hand speed trainer. If you were here Thursday, this was the second step. So you had hand speed trainer, Durathrow sock, connection club, if you guys remember that. Durathrow sock is very good because it does very similar thing to the hand speed trainer. As you throw, there's a ball in there. So as you throw the ball, you release it. The ball hits the end of the sock, and it forces the shoulder to stabilize instead of extending. So as we throw it, the ball hits the sock, stabilize, shoulder's forced to co-contract, hold the arm, instead of letting it straighten out. Okay? And I'm just showing a variety of drills because you can do this. This is also a very good alternative if you're in a cold weather environment. Snowing, you can't throw outside. You can just have one of your guys throw one of these on. You can get all your throwing in for the day, and you can throw the same amount and have less stress because of the co-contraction of the shoulder, and it really just keeps that stable. Next one, we got bell club. This is very similar to the connection club, and a lot of people actually get it confused, but the difference between the bell club and the connection club for our uses is we hold on to the bell club. So we're going to go through here, just making sure staying connected with the bell club, right? We're getting the drills done, throwing it, same thing, forcing the shoulder, the lat, scap, all of that to stabilize, just throwing the warm-up phase. Because during our warm-up phase, the whole goal is not to blow our arm up, okay? Our warm-up phase is to get our arm ready and prepped for actual throwing in the game and before the game. So as little stress as we can have on the arm during the warm-up phase, the better, because the whole goal is not to warm up, the whole goal is to be effective in the game, okay? Next one, mini band. So this one, just you guys have all seen these, little mini band, just moving it with your hands, moving it with your shoulders, right? Getting the whole thing going, different varying movements, right? We have even ones like this where we pull it, but it's just getting the little muscles in the shoulder ready to go, getting them fired up, turning them on,